So you might be wondering, why am I at Camelback Ski Resort in Pennsylvania when I'm recording a lost ski area video? Well, you may be surprised to learn that Camelback was not the first ski area on Camelback Mountain. That distinction belonged to Big Pocono ski area, and Big Pocono predates Camelback by about 10 years, even though they were founded by some of the same people. So there is a bit of a link between the two ski areas. In any case, people have been skiing on Camelback Mountain since 1950, when Big Pocono opened, and that ski area only lasted for about 5 years. It closed in 1955, so here we are at Camelback. We're going to go looking for whatever's left of Big Pocono ski area. It's out in the woods there, past Nile Mile. That's the trail all the way on the left. So we're going to go down Nile Mile, and we're going to go look for Big Pocono ski area. There was an ice storm when I filmed this. It was very pretty to look at, but not so much to ski on. So this is down on Nile Mile, and when you get to the old railroad grade, you see that road on the other side of Nile Mile there, and it crosses a ski trail, goes off into the woods. This was the old railroad grade, and there was a railroad line that went through what is now the ski area. Obviously the railroad preceded the ski area, and it was abandoned before the ski area. The railroad was torn up in the 1940s. And you can see the water park there out through the trees. So we've walked out the railroad grade a bit, and we're looking down. That's where the tow line would have been, and the tow line crossed the railroad grade. And so they would have discontinued, they tore out the railroad just a few years before the ski area was here, which is kind of interesting. Right here where this telephone pole is. This is right where the tow line crossed over, and you kept going up the tow line, try to get through these rhododendrons here. And then you can start to see the tow line in the trees. It becomes a little bit more obvious as it opens up there. You can see that depression, and that's pretty much all there is to tell you that there was skiing going on here. And the operators of Big Pocono, they built a tow line that was further east down the ridgeline, and they never operated it because the bottom of the tow line was too close to the creek at the bottom and the ground wouldn't freeze. So they built this tow line a little further to the west. And there's a shiv wheel. There's really not much left, but if you look close enough, you do find the clues. So they operated for 5 years, 1950 to 1955, and they did those 5 years with no snowmaking and the one long rope tow. There were a few trails that they cut off the side of the rope tow and a couple of wider slopes further down. And they were probably only open a few days a year. They were only open on weekends. They only operated on weekends. So there probably wasn't a whole lot of time that they were able to open up. This is the top of the tow line. So you see behind me there, they didn't clear any further up the mountain. The tow line ends about 200 or 300 feet, vertical feet shy of the summit. which is a little bit lower over here because we're a little bit further down the ridge. And this is kind of walking out towards where the trail would have headed off the top. But if you take everything into account from here down to about where the creek is, it's about as far as you can ski. It comes out to around 500 vertical feet, which is pretty impressive that they were trying a project this ambitious in the 1950s with no snowmaking. 500 vertical feet was a lot for 1950, especially for Pennsylvania. That's a lot to work with at the time. See another shiv wheel off on the tow line. But some of the owners of Big Pocono, they definitely learned from that experience, and after Big Pocono ceased operations in the mid-50s, a few years later, they would go on to open Camelback Ski Area. Some of the investors and people involved with opening Camelback started here at Big Pocono, so the mountain has a pretty long history of skiing. It goes all the way back to 1950. So this is back down by the railroad grade. We're back down the tow line, and this is the truck, the infamous truck in the woods by Camelback. This was what powered the tow rope, and I think it's pretty funny because it's still got the tires on. It's still got the tires on the front too. They just drove it up here, parked it, and that's it. I don't exactly know how the mechanism was set up here. They did some pretty extensive modifications to attach the rope. As you can see, they put the big metal wheels there off the truck wheel, and that's what would have driven the tow rope. Now, I don't know exactly how they had this set up, because the truck is pretty well offset from the tow line, and I had thought that maybe this drove a tow line that went up to the top, and then there was another tow that would have stopped here at the railroad grade, and there was another drive unit, possibly another truck, down at the bottom by the creek. And so it was actually two rope tows, but it was sharing the same tow line. So you could go up halfway, and then you could come over and you go up the rest. But I'm not exactly sure how it worked. But in any case, I think this is pretty much all that's left. And that's it. That's Big Pocono Ski Area. It's off the Nile Mile here at Camelback. It's all state park land. If you want to walk over, you can go and look at the truck. It's pretty interesting. And I think it's interesting to know that, you know, there's a longer history here at a functioning ski resort. That there was something that came before it. Well, anyway, that's my video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all next time.